Alright everybody, welcome back to another Adventures of Mark Mac reading, explanation, or whatever you want to call it. First thing I want to address, this art style is not representative of the current art style that we're currently working on. Jake will have what the old, this is the new and most current stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin here. We have our first comic page over here, which is number 2, showing Videl in the many different iterations. For a quick disclaimer here, the red and blue and the pants with the typical shoes she wears is what I consider my version of the character. So anytime you see this one, always remember it's mine. It's my version of it. I mean, I typically like to have the colors and anything Videl related on the channel be that, but just as a quick asterisk there. So in the first page here, we are introduced into our first female protagonist of the series, and it is Videl here. After an unknown amount of time of sleeping on the bed, she wakes up and explores the real world and tries to see what's going on here. Of course, the first thing that she notices are the quick alterations to her body type, which was not by her own consent here. First person that she ends up bumping into is Mr. Mech over here, who peers through the window, seeing her at the most inopportune of times. After introducing himself to said person, of course, Videl, being who she is, jumps in and attacks him because why would she even be on friendly terms with some random guy around her age that just happened to be in the same room she was in, just to beat him up? So she quickly, promptly, and decisively takes down Mr. Mech over here and asks him where she is and all the other questions you'd ask if you just woke up in a place you've never been in before. Quickly using words instead of just giving the non-words that most anime does, he leverages the ability to get back up and explain to her quickly where she is exactly, or how she became here exactly, and explains in quick fashion that he created her. He made some alterations to her, such as that Saiyan tail, and also that she's based on an anime, so she really didn't exist at some point, up until now anyway. Of course, first thing he has to show her is the DVD box set with her face on it. And of course, upon checking herself, she realizes that her hair was cut. Canonical Videl never really cut her hair until she met Gohan. This version of Videl, however, never met Gohan, so she has no memory of ever cutting her hair to look this way. So she's pretty pissed about that.
Well, clearly after not honestly addressing the actual elephant in the room, she then actually realized that she actually does have a tail protruding from her own body. And after confirming that it is real, has to accept that part of the explanation as being the truth. After kind of getting the lowdown from that, after he's giving yet another bit of an explanation based on what she is in conjunction, she's now having a bit of an existential moment, which would be totally understandable, but honestly more interesting as to how she's not viably crashing out and trying to destroy everything. And so we just have more explanations in regards to that. And honestly, this is one of the few times that we actively do give a character a bit of a lowdown from that. A few other characters, we don't, in future lines of story, we don't actively give them this deep of a story. They're somehow more accepting. So this is just kind of the first and one and done kind of thing. There are a few times where it's quicker explanation. Sometimes there's better explained. Sometimes it's just better accepted. Don't know if it's something with the programming. Yeah, the last line of code says, oh, and also be able to accept reality-altering consequences. And so the last bit, as you could tell from these few panels, the room has been slowly somewhat getting darker and losing light. Because now this last page, and especially last panel, kind of ends on something of an ominous, if not entirely dark tone, because she realizes that she doesn't really have a life. Everything that she has known, what she has been given to her via the machine, has been essentially a fiction. And now here she is in reality. Quite the cliffhanger.
Yeah, and I guess to add a little bit onto that for the ending, because this is a very short chapter, we understand, but this is here to kind of get an insight of just how different the anime / fictional characters are compared to the normal humans here. One thing I do want to really stress for future stuff here is that anime characters will have their expressive big head / emoticon features and stuff, but the normal human characters will be way more grounded and less physically emotive that you would have like the over-the-top look. So there's going to be a lot of different clashing of that type of style in the quote-unquote real world type aspect. But yeah, as Ben said, a lot of these characters do end up having some level of degrees of an existential crisis, but as we will find out in a future chapter, not all characters are really bound to a very heavy storyline that essentially keeps them from, how you would say, questioning everything. Some just roll with it, others take a little bit extra time, and some just don't care. So it's a bit of a short chapter here. As we go further, there will be longer ones. So if you guys enjoy what you're watching here, I know this is a bit of a small one, as I said already, go ahead and give this one a like. If we hit another like goal of 20 on this one, we'll go ahead and release the third chapter for everyone on YouTube as well. If you guys are interested in seeing what we're currently working on, such as this, you guys can go and take a look at our Patreon page. It is $5 for page access, so you guys can see and support us so we can get more pages out faster and sooner. And if you guys want to see more bonus content on top of that, we also have the $10 tier, which gives you access to that comic as well as extra artwork that we produce during each of the months. So until next time, everybody, we'll see you guys for the next one, and see you then. Bye-bye.